Welcome to this exercise on analyzing Wikipedia data with SAP HANA 1 and SAP Lumira. My name is Bill Ramos from Advaiya. This lab is the second half of a scenario of a blog series that I put together on SCN titled Using SAP HANA to Analyze Wikipedia Data. The first half of the scenario is documented in this blog post, and I'll quickly walk through the first half to set the stage for the exercises that you'll run through. Now, the Wikimedia Foundation, the American nonprofit organization that develops and maintains Wikipedia, maintains an hourly page view statistics for their projects, which are located here in this project here, where you can get page count hits for a variety of years from 2007 to 2013. Anyone can access this data on the Wikimedia site, and each hourly GZ file contains a space-delimited text file with the language and project code, page name, the number of page hits per hour, and the number of bytes returned. Now here's the solution overview for the scenario, where we have our page dump files that you saw earlier. We're just going to take 3 months of data for this exercise. We're going to use a Unix server or a Linux server to connect the S3 storage and download the hourly dumps into our S3 storage. From there, we'll use Elastic MapReduce on AWS and Hive to filter out that data to then load into SAP HANA through SAP HANA Studio. And then from there, we'll go ahead, build an analytic view, and then analyze that data with SAP Lumira. As far as the first blog post is concerned, what this process did was actually set up a Linux server that would bring down the library to build the file that's used, or the program that's used to mount an S3 drive on Linux, so that we can go ahead and set up a directory and then use wget to download all the files from the Wikimedia site for the particular month that we did, in this case April. And then from there, use a little shell script to take the files and put them into separate directories so that it can be processed better with Hive. And so this was the first blog post that talked about how you get the data over to your S3 storage from Wikipedia. From there, the data ends up on your S3 storage in a directory structure that has folders for each year, month, day, and hour, so that Hive can be partitioned to process the data. And the way that happens is we first went ahead in the second blog post and talked about how you create a new job flow on AWS. In my case, we use these M1 XLarge instances, 1 for the head node and then 8 for processing. And then from there, once the Elastic MapReduce cluster with Hadoop was installed with Hive, went ahead and logged in to the head node for the cluster so we can run Hive. So once inside the console here, we go ahead and use the Hive command to start the Hive console, and then issue the create table statement that would go ahead and be used to load in the data by specifying that the fields were delimited by space, which is per the specification in the project file. And then we indicate where the files will be located afterwards. We then use this alter table add partition to add the first set of data, and this essentially tells Hive where to start looking for data, and then just do a quick count to make sure that we're getting the right data that we saw in that. From there, as part of the second blog post, to talk about how you can use recover partitions then that will go through and tell Hive to sort of load up all the data for processing. And in this case, once you do that command, all the data is available. In this case, what we're looking at for the 3 months of data is essentially 2,200 files, the GZ files, which represented about 745 gigabytes of uncompressed data. And this is one of the reasons why we had to filter the data with Hive. We then went through a process of going through, and then the main command right here is doing an insert overwrite directory command indicating the directory structure where we want to have our results files. And these are the files that you're going to be using in the exercise with SAP HANA and Lumira, where we essentially do a select the project code, page name, and the various data from the page counts table that we set up and did it for each month. And so for each month, we're outputting this data. And essentially, this took us about almost 1,000 seconds to process with Elastic MapReduce for each month. The end result is in your S3 storage, we have a directory structure with the year and the month, similar to where we had the raw files. And there are typically about 3 files per month file. The largest being somewhere around 244 megabytes, and then the remainder of the files. So that's the way Hive will break up the results for you. So with that, we now have the results in Hive, and at that point, with the S3 storage, we'll then go through with the lab exercise. You'll see how to import the data from the S3 storage into a staging table on your HANA database using SAP HANA Studio. You'll then go through a process of creating a star schema. So essentially we take that staging table and we add fact tables for project, date, and language to enhance the model. You'll then build the analytic view, which will be used by SAP Lumira to do your analysis. So you'll learn how to take a table or the set of tables that you created as part of your star schema and create your analytic view. And then finally, you'll use SAP Lumira to analyze your Wikipedia data. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation and have fun with the lab. Thank you.